Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. 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 I have to laugh at myself, ladies and gentlemen, because I messed that up. I messed up my own thing. See, I do it live each time when I come on, you know what I mean? Because every product is to be authentic and true. And, let me get right to it. Jerry. All right. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Let me get a round of applause. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. First of all, welcome. Hello. What the hell am I doing? Hello. Is it Friday? It is Friday. Hello.
Hello.
It's going to be a quick one today, ladies and gentlemen. What a goofy day. I had to get my... I had an eye exam today. You know, they dilate you, and Jesus, I mean, like, I'm still all screwed up. Like, it makes me so, like I was just so agitated because, you know, everything's blurred out and bright and I can't see. Driving home was a real bitch. You know, I should know better, but I do it every time, and I'm squinting, and I got to cover half my eyes. I'm lucky, you know, I'm really a hazard on the road when I get an eye exam. So, but I'm trying to get my brain situated and back to kind of normal, because I kind of threw my whole day off. And, you know, on top of it, you know, aside from getting an eye exam, which is a pain in the ass to begin with, then you got to like hang out and wait. You know, they got to put the drops in so that your pupils dilate, and you got to hang out and wait for that. Then, you know, by the time that's done, the doctor's, you know, with somebody else, and you got to sit there and wait for another 15, 20 minutes till they come in and check. And then from there, you got to go out and you got to pick your frames and do the whole to-do and blah, blah, blah. And I've been pretty good, thank God. You know, last time I got a new pair of glasses was almost 2 years ago. So basically, almost 2 years ago to the month. So I was in need, and I had put it off for a while because I don't like doing any of that type of stuff. But I did make it there today, and so you guys can know that now I can see you more. Not right now because I don't have the new glasses yet, and my pupils are still a little dilated. So I don't want you to think I'm tripping on acid or anything like that. Although if that were the case, that would be wonderful. If you have some LSD and would like to send it to me as a gift for all the wonderful joy I send to you on the show each and every day, then that would be great. I'd appreciate that. Am I allowed to solicit drugs, illegal drugs on YouTube? I don't know if that's a rule or not. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm rambling on. I just figure at this point, you know, whoever watches this on a regular basis, you know me and all that stuff. But if you don't, and you just happen to be flipping through and you just popped onto this for the very first time, I am Pete Palma, and this is Operation Status Quo. Here on Observation Status Quo, we observe the status quo, we learn to flow with the quo, and then we create our own quo to flow, because some quos, you got to just say no. And you see how the mainstream world is, and we do just have to say no to all the crap that's being shoveled our way. Yes, indeed. And, that's why this place is here, because it's like a refuge. Or is it refuge? Or is that trash? Refuse is trash, right? So this is like a refuge in the storm. You know, if you were stuck on the side of a mountain and, you know, a blizzard moved in, I would be like the little log cabin that just happened to be there, the little empty log cabin that you can go into and with some firewood in there, and you could start a fire and keep yourself warm. Some canned goods are in there so that you can, I'm going to figure out how to use this analogy from now on. I like that. I'm like the little cabin in the woods when you're trapped in a storm that you just come across, and, you know, there's some canned foods and some wood to start a fire. That would be great. But that is why I'm here, and that is the purpose and the intent of Operation Status Quo, is to come on each and every day, or 5 days a week basically, and just let people know that it's okay. And if the world's making you crazy, you don't have to worry about it. You can come here because there's a lot more craziness going on here than there is out in the world. I mean, the turmoil that goes on inside my own brain is probably far exceeds the turmoil of the outside world. That's not true, of course, but we like to have some fun. We got to poke fun at ourselves a little bit. But seriously, people, you know that this place is a place of love, joy, and togetherness. I welcome you as the audience because that's the whole point. Without you, there is no me. Well, I mean, I would still exist, but, you know, it'd be like talking to the wind, which is kind of half of what I'm doing anyway. I'm not really sure. If you're out there, I'd love to know. I'd love for you to drop a comment in the comment section and say, hello. Hello, Pete. I am here. I am watching, and I enjoy or I don't enjoy. I'm open to either or as long as you're watching. But anyway, so today's episode on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen, is Goodbye, Jerry. Yes, goodbye, Jerry. And it's a little bit of a somber episode today because as crazy as it may seem, one of my guilty pleasures in life was and probably still will be, I guess, through repeats and such, but the Jerry Springer Show. And unfortunately, our good friend Jerry Springer left us way too soon and has moved on to higher dimensions and probably a much better life than we're living right now. So that's a good thing for him. Unfortunately for us, we're still here and we don't have him. But I just wanted to say, you know, quickly today, I mean, it's a short show today just to come on and kind of give a little farewell and bon voyage. I'm telling you, I don't think it's my eyes that are messed up. I think I've had several mini strokes, you know, consistently over the past month. I don't know, but seriously, yeah. So I'm just going to tell quickly the story of me with Jerry Springer because. When the show first came on, I guess whatever was it early, mid 90s, something like that, early 90s, whatever it was when it first came on. I remember I was actually working at a TGI Fridays or something. I was waiting tables at a Fridays. And I remember being there in the morning, you know, setting up before the lunch shift started. And I was in one of the rooms where, you know, there's TVs. There was TVs all around the restaurant, but the one back room had this TV on and the Jerry Springer Show was on, and I remember being so agitated, you know, watching it, thinking, "Oh, this is like the lowest common denominator of society. It's all this like you know, white trash and black trash and Hispanic trash and whatever trash. It was just like all kinds of trash all the way around, and you know, just like the lowest forms of communication you can find of who's mad. Everybody's cheating on each other and mad at each other, and you know, all this kind of stuff, fighting and blah blah blah. And it really kind of made me agitated. I was like, oh, I can't believe this is even on TV, and like you know, what this is teaching people and blah blah. But, you know, over time, you know, I kind of started, I guess, I don't know how it developed, but, you know, just from watching more and more. And all of a sudden I just realized, wait a minute, this is just like I was talking about yesterday with the politics and stuff. And it's the same thing as wrestling. You know, I came to realize afterwards that, you know, Jerry Springer was, you know, the same thing. There wasn't really this person from, you know, whatever, Alabama, you know, who was sleeping with his wife's mother and, you know, got the wife's mother pregnant or I don't know, some crazy crap that they would do, you know. I love, you know, today on Jerry, I love your grandmom, you know, or something. So anyway, but then I started realizing that, this has got to be all actors and set up. I don't know if they're all actors per se or people call up and they make some sort of, but all I know is as I started watching it over time, I really found it to be intelligent, you know, and I saw the way, you know, Jerry asked the questions and the way he did his thing. And, you know, you could tell he was just playing it up. And whoever that guy was during the time, you would see that guy sometimes sitting off to the side and he had the dark hair and the glasses. And I guess, I don't know if he was in charge of the sound effects or, you know, the things like that. And he was like, you know, the producer, whatever. I don't even know his name, you know, but he did a great job, you know. It was always, and I thought it was so well done because at one point it was just insanity, right? Like there would just be something going on and then all of a sudden, like, it was the craziest thing. I'll never forget they had the guy that didn't have any like lower body. Do you remember this? Like he didn't have legs, I guess. I mean, he had like his lower body, the abdomen, you know, but no legs, and he would just walk around on stage like, you know, with his arms. Do you remember this guy? He would like do, you know, just walk around on it just randomly. It was just like random crap like that. It had nothing to do with the show. Like all of a sudden, this guy with no legs, just his arms, you know, will come walking by on the stage, or you know, they just run out a bunch. I know you can't say midgets anymore, but but back then you could. But they just send out the little people, or just crazy crap, random crazy crap that made no sense. And they always had. It was so funny because it was all the time. How many times did they do episodes where the guy's trying to hook up with this girl, behind his girlfriend's back, and then it turns out that the girl's a man, the whole, and now I guess, it probably wouldn't be as shocking now with our new trans culture, but back then it was just, and you could tell it would be like this, big burly black woman, and it with, big Adam's apple, you knew it was a man, right? You knew it was a man. And you'd be like, yes, I know you were trying to pick me up behind your girlfriend's back. You wanted to play a trick on me, but guess what? The trick's on you. I'm a man, And they're like, what? And the guy get all upset. What? And they start fighting. I mean, it was just the craziest stuff ever, and I just appreciated it. It was, I mean, if anybody who was taking it seriously, I could see why you would get angry. Just like when I was younger and first started watching it and thinking, oh, this is just an insult and dumbing down of America. But the truth is, to me, I look at it, it was really almost like a social commentary of pointing out how crazy our world is, and and like in the direction. Really, if you look back on it, it shows. I mean, we're here. We don't need the Jerry Springer Show anymore. Let me give you another round because we don't need the Jerry Springer Show anymore because everything is the Jerry Springer Show. Oh, there's Mr. Norberg. How you doing, my friend? What'd you say here? I don't know if you saw the beginning, but my eyes are a little messed up because I went to. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I went to. Where is that? Okay. I went to the eye doctor today. So let's just say I don't know what's more fake, Jerry Springer or the presidential debate. Yes. Well, I mean that's the problem, because with the presidential debate, you're thinking that should be real. At least in Jerry. That it's not real. By the way, Mr. Norberg, I know you sent me a message earlier today. I did respond. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go to your messenger and the answer to your questions are there. And hopefully we can connect tomorrow. But anyhow, so yeah, I wanted to just take the time to say goodbye to Jerry because I loved it. I mean, it was just such a shit show, and it cracked me up like every single time. And on top of that, right? So that's what kind of got me into it more too, because I watched it for some time, and then I was doing other things in life, so I wasn't sitting watching Jerry Springer every day. But I would catch it like on days that I was off from work, or if I worked from home or something like that, I would catch it. So I would watch. But then what really kind of got me into it again, I guess, was back in 2007, I think it was, when Steve Wilkos, who used to be the bodyguard there on Springer, started his own show. And of course, I'm sure many people are now familiar with the Steve Wilkos show. And I have to say, I don't know if I should be proud to say, but I am. I had a really good time. I actually went up to Stamford, Connecticut, and sat in the audience for an episode of the Steve Wilkos show. And that was pretty cool. I was actually sitting in the second row. I mean, the first row. No, I was in the very first row. And Steve was so close. If I had to lean a little, I would have had to like get up and lean a little bit. But he was literally like 6-7 feet from me. Like he was really close. Like the stage was right there, and I was sitting right here. And I'm like, wow, how about that? Like there's Steve Wilkos. And anyway, it was a pretty neat experience. Even to go there and how they situate and seat everybody, and then they have the audience warmer guy comes up, and they do some kind of playing around with people and little games and stuff like that before the show starts. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Of course, everybody's going Jerry. It was a Steve Wilkos show, but they still were all chanting Jerry. And I even won something. I was part of the contest. I got called up, and I think I forgot what they did. Something you had to answer questions, and whoever, I don't know, I forgot exactly, but I won something. I won like a Slinky. And but it was worth it. I was living in the Jersey at the time, so I drove up to Connecticut, stayed the night, and enjoyed spending time with Steve Wilkos' show there. But again, when that show started coming on, then by the time we got to like say whatever 12, 13, 14, 15, well really more so like 15, 16, 17, 18. And I'm not sure how many new episodes Jerry even did after that. I know like by 17, I think 2017 was like the 25th anniversary or something like that. So But anyway, and I would watch a lot more then because then I did start working from home more. And then, of course, when the pandemic happened, I mean, I was watching it, every day and catching up on all the kinds of old episodes I had missed. And anyway, for me, I just feel that it was a lot of fun. I'm a character, I don't take life seriously, and I appreciate the way Jerry did what he did, not for anything. I mean, he was a politician and all. So, the whole thing is it just shows you again, like it's all the same, whether it's politics, whether it's being a lawyer, whether it's being a Jerry Springer show or wrestling or a presidential debate, like Mr. Norberg said here, and, so it's all the same. And Jerry, I think, made a wise choice to leave politics and do the show. And it was just a trip. Like, how about what they would do with the food? I mean, it was always the same thing. You knew when somebody was coming out, like with the cake, to wish somebody a happy birthday. You knew it was going to be, the cake was going all over somebody, right? Or if they did a wedding, they would do like they're going to get married on Jerry, and the bride comes out. They're both dressed and like, oh yes, I do want to marry you, but before I do, I have to tell you that I slept with your brother, and it's just like, and it turned into this whole shit show. And they come out with the flowers. Remember the time they would come out with the flowers? Sometimes like, the guy comes out with the flowers, wants to apologize, and she takes the flowers and starts smacking the other girl with the flowers. Like, I'm sorry I cheated on you here with this hussy, here's some flowers. And she take the flowers and starts smacking the other girl with the flowers. I mean, it was just, you couldn't make it any more, crazy over the top. So, like, it was great too. Like the person would come out and be like, "Hey Jerry, hey, so what brings you here today?" Well, I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years, and I really love him. And he was in the military, and he was away, and I just want to get it off my chest that I want us to start fresh. I want him to know that I was sleeping with his uncle, his father, his cousin, and 3 of his brothers while he was gone. And the audience is like, oh! And Jerry's like, oh, that sounds like a lot. It's like, okay, well, he hasn't been listening, so let's bring him out, and you could tell him, or it'd be the other way. Well, she knows now, or he knows now, because they've been listening the whole time in the back, and then they come flying out, ripping their shoes off. Oh man, I'm telling you, I don't know. Am I wrong? Let me know out there. But I just wanted to take this time to say to me, it's like, it's almost like the Three Stooges, like the Three Stooges, like to me, are this innovative, ahead of their time, kind of, show. They never got the credit they deserved. They were never able to do the full feature movies the way they wanted to. They were always kind of just pushed aside, pushed around by the movie companies. I mean, even the way it went, like after, what happened with Curly, and then Shemp comes in and they start kind of remaking the same episodes that they were with Curly, but they just replace it with Shemp because they don't want to make new things. They got, like, what I'm saying is, enough for anything, like I know I'm going off of this tangent, but the Three Stooges, if you really think about it, how talented those guys were between playing music. I mean, think about when they came up, there was no TV and all this kind of stuff. I mean, they were musicians, they were able to sing, they were able to dance. I mean, they really were able to do the whole shebang, and the whole shtick they did was just hilarious. Like, when you watch the Three Stooges sometimes, like there's one I never forget, like, there's Mo and was it Mo? Yeah, I think like Mo and Larry, say, right? Mo, Larry, Curly. So Mo and Larry, Mo smacks Larry, and then Larry smacks Mo back, and then Mo smacks Larry again, and then Larry smacks Mo again, and then Mo just kind of like, puts his arms up in the air like, oh well, and then he turns around and just smacks Curly, like out of the blue for no reason. I mean, I know that sounds like, is it not fun? But that's really funny. It's just like really funny. And Springer did the same thing, and I think he created a lot of joy. He brought a lot of attention and to the trailer trash community of the middle of our country. So I don't even want to insult like that, because I don't say it that way. I just say it that way to be funny. But truthfully, it was always played off like everything was such trash. Yeah, anyway, I just want to give a round of applause for Jerry Springer. That's it. I enjoyed so much. I'm happy I didn't personally meet Steve Wilkos as if to shake his hand and say hello, I'm Pete, but I did go to his thing there and was able to see him up close. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I just think I was really sad. I was really not only just sad to hear about Jerry passing, I was really surprised. I just definitely, they say he was 79. I thought he would have lasted, longer, so, and I thought, especially even with Judge Jerry was great too. If you watched any of the episodes of that, I don't know if they made when the last season was. I didn't even realize he was sick. So I don't know. It's sad to see that, my whole television habits changed when I moved, here to Florida. So it's been about a year and a half. I haven't even seen an episode of Jerry Springer. And before I moved, I kind of was still watching it every day. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about Jerry Springer? Let me know in the comment section below. And we just want to take this time to grieve the loss of one of our brothers in arms, as it were. He knew how to poke fun at the world. I mean, he basically, if you look at it, to me, the show was like, basically making fun of the culture that they were trying to create. I know television is a programming tool. I mean, you can look at it from younger generations if they're coming up and looking at that as an example. I guess, you can look at it from the negative side. But if you take the higher view and just look at it as tongue-in-cheek and what it really was like, what's the word they use? It was like whatever. It was I can't think of the word I want to use. But basically, it was a speaking to, and a showing of what the world is becoming and what we're accepting, and I think Jerry himself couldn't believe it, right? And I know he said in interviews he knew the show was ridiculous in certain ways, but it's like, when something works, it works. So anyway, if you've never watched Jerry Springer, there's plenty of episodes. Go back, watch the episodes, and and then get into it, and you'll be surprised. You start to really get a kick out of it. I used to try to tell my brother all the time to watch it, and he'd be like, he just couldn't. It really got on his nerves. He couldn't do it because he just thought it was too negative. And excuse me, I mean, it was negative, but but at the same time, like even the fighting. Let's be real. I mean, these guys, nobody can fight on that show. I mean, so I think they're told to really not fight, or, I mean, it's tried to make it kind of real, but you see these guys, they come over. I mean, in real life, one of these guys would have, pop somebody good across the jaw and knock them out. Instead, it was always like a grabbing, and the shirt rips and the microphone's wrapped around them, and they're giving them a cup of water, and, ding, 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 and then they go again, and, I don't know. So believe me, it's all set up. It was all in good fun, and Jerry Springer brought a lot of entertainment to me. I hope he brought a lot of entertainment to you, and so that's about it. I just wanted to do a quick one today. It's Friday. Normally on Fridays, I like to maybe do, my Just the Facts or This Day in History, something light and fun, but in lieu of Mr. Springer's passing yesterday, I decided to come on today and do a little tribute to our friend Jerry. Let's see if I still have my Jerry. Jerry. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. All right, listen, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. As I always say, please take the time to like, subscribe, share. I mean, what is it to share? Are you embarrassed? Share the damn thing out, and let's help this community grow. Let's let this channel grow. Let's let our world grow in a place of love and harmony and all this stuff that I talk about. Operation Status Quo. We observe the status quo. We learn to flow with the quo, and we create our own quo of flow, because that's the way we have to go. All right, so I'm Pete Palma. God bless Jerry Springer, and I rest in peace, my good friend. Before you know it, I'll be up there seeing you soon, and hopefully we can do some midget tossing together. Anyway, I'm Pete Palma. Thank you for being here today on Operation Status Quo. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. God bless. Have a great weekend. Oh, and I got to go back over here. I always do this. Well, not always, but sometimes. Have a great weekend. I love you so much, and I will see you on Monday. Oh, yeah, an Operation Status Quo. Disengaged.